Hey people, hope you're doing well. I'm Hannah. I am gonna pull some cards. I'm gonna pull some guidance for people who are on their own personal soul journey. See if we can see anything that might guide whoever draws in this message on their journey. I am feeling like it is more feminines though, so I've got the Divine Feminine deck. We can see if there's any particular Divine Feminine energies that are guiding any changes that you might be experiencing. And if we need some information on balancing, potentially might get a chakra insight card. If we need any extra details, potentially might use the Lightseers Tarot. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for everyone who's been commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing. I really do appreciate it because it's helping my little baby channel grow. And if you are discovering my channel, it is doxed, so you've gone through a whole load of restrictions. I mean, my channel, like I posted a video recently just about, you know, strange people online, you know, doing stalking and all the rest of it, which people have, you know, resonated with. But I do want to reiterate, like I made this channel not for that. Like, I made it to be a platform to share my work, but it's just like so happens that in doing that I've had to endure all of that as well, which I never came on here to do. So that's kind of I've kind of become a bit of an advocate about the abuse of technology, you know, treating women like objects and property, and just like asset theft, just because of what's been happening to me, what's been happening to my people, you know, abuse of processes, abuse of the law and things like that, and just general targeting people who just want to get on with their lives. Okay, so we have the King of Keys and we have Spring or Autumn. And that's interesting that when I was talking about the law, as those two cards came out, so there might be a legal process that will be coming to a close in spring or autumn of next year. I don't know if I showed you the cards actually. Obviously take it if it resonates for you. That won't back in. So, okay. The Winged Messengers and the Karmic Trench. But your spirit guides are really working for you to get you out of the karmic trenches. They're protecting you and guiding you in order to have this process concluded so you can actually close the karmic cycle and move on with your life. Your ancestors have been really protecting you and really guiding you and supporting you. That's too many. That's way too many. Okay, the architect kind of slid off the top, so I'm just taking that one. Because you've been building something. You've been building. You could have Egyptian ancestry. I mean, take it if it applies. You could also have English ancestry. Because there's like, so that's Egyptian. But then on these two, there's like, on this one as well, there's like English countryside. Like rolling hills and things, but very English. And castles. And tea, English tea. I mean, you may resonate that. Sangha community. You may be starting to connect with like your soul tribe, or you may resonate with having like a soul tribe of like-minded people that you're coming together with. They might be helping you. Commitment may come through a partnership of some kind, through work or yeah, I'm just getting work at the moment, even though there's rose petals on there, so it could be work or love. There is quite a lot of like love and like water energy out here, to be honest. Yeah, healing energy, Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael's overseeing these changes to really open your heart chakra to get you ready for what's to come after you close the door on whatever this legal process is next year. Like next year, you're going to be rid of whatever's been holding you down to stop you from actually like properly moving forward and building your life. Archangel Gabriel's here. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel. The number 83 could be significant. Archangel Gabriel's helping you to actually like speak your truth and voice your testimony. What is that? 2. King of Roses, intricacies and industry. You might be being watched. You might be being watched by influential people. This is like not meant to alarm anybody. It's not. It doesn't feel. The energy doesn't feel scary. It's loving with the King of Roses. There's people like watching you in admiration, but they're influential people. Oh my God, I don't know why the deck is just so slippery. The light of the world. They're looking at you as some kind of light. They're looking at you as some kind of wisdom keeper. That reminds me of the Hermit card in the tarot with the lantern. Number 10 might be significant, but like I said in other readings, I don't really pay attention to numbers, but they might mean something to you. I'm going to get a bit more about what the you might be building diversity. So you might be bringing people together, people of all different backgrounds. Might be a writing project with it being the scrolls. Might be bringing people together for some sort of writing project. The Ark of the Covenant and the Queen of the Keys. You might be bringing people of all different faiths together. This could definitely be people of like English ancestry, because there's just a lot of that that's come out. The number 11 might be significant. Tell me more about the Queen of Keys, please. Tell me more about the Queen of Keys. Thank you for being here, whether you're new or old. Faith. Please help me out and do the free things. It really helps me. Will, wisdom and mind. 20. So you might be seen as some sort of queen from like an old or some sort of religious leader, or some sort of queen from look at that. I don't know, like I can't tell what age it is, but it's like it could be in England. Maybe in the 1600s or 1700s. But I don't know. Could be even Victorian, but you could be someone that like was an advisor to royalty. At some point. It doesn't really matter about which time period, to be honest. But you could be some sort of like religious advisor or some sort of advisor to royalty. You could have Celtic ancestry as well. You could resonate with that. Number 20. Yeah, what else about what's being built? What else about what's being built? Wishes fulfilled. It's going to, whatever you're building is going to make all your dreams come true. It's your dream life. Queen of Forces. Yeah, you're building it with your own imagination and your own creativity. That's way too many. Tell us more about this commitment, please. Balance. This commitment is going to balance out your life. It's going to bring justice to your life. Tell us more. Paths unknown in the chess game. Yeah, you've basically like been walking in faith and you've been in like a competition of some sort. You've been in a competition over your own destiny, which is just a bit strange. Initiation, the Count Saint Germain, but Saint Germain's been protecting you. He's been overseeing the chess game. Number 14 might be significant. Tell us more. Yeah, there's the views of the ego and the Akashic field. There's been some very nefarious people who've been trying to affect your destiny. And it's really strange that the Akashic Field card's got all of that aurora activity, which is like on the increase now with all this solar activity that's going on. And it's maybe that all of this solar activity is actually here to protect people's destinies from being stolen and swapped by all of these. Because all of these, like, look at this. But these people having a mother's meeting about what they're going to do to, like, take over the people's free will. Yeah, like they're just trying to reroute people's journey. But they can't. They can't. They're stopping you from like just taking steps into the unknown freely and, you know, whimsically, and in trust and faith and innocence and, you know, with childlike wonder, you know, with a healed inner child. Because all they're seeing is like pound signs. Tell us more about Archangel Raphael, please. Tell us more about Archangel Raphael. I don't know. Clearing the way, the Master Artisan. Oh, I've got chills. He's really looking after you. Really, really looking after you. Archangel Gabriel. That's too many. That's too many. We've got chills still from Archangel Raphael. The War of the Roses with Archangel Gabriel. Yeah, this and Archangel Gabriel's like really helping to settle old score, you know, unhealed timelines from the past, and somehow you're voicing your experiences in this lifetime are helping to heal and clear the wounds of the past. Tell us more about the Six of Roses, the Willow. The Willow. Yeah, you're bringing light to the situation. You're bringing light to this war, this conflict situation. You're bringing some sort of like what should I say, the capacity to reflect for like other parties in this conflict situation, helping with some sort of like helping people to see that they need to reflect. Or self-reflect. Tell us more about these people in industry that might be watching. tell us more about these people in industry that might be watching. That's too many. The Ascent. I'll take the top one. Yeah, they're watching your rise. They know that you're a rising star. They know that you've climbed mountains. Like they're watching to see like if you're going to get to the top. Which is really strange. Like, I just don't know why people watch people struggle to the top and don't, like, you know, actually get in on the ascension. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, they just want to be like observers on the sidelines, but not actually support and give someone a leg up or support and actually be part of the journey properly. Like, I just think there's a lot more of that around these days than yeah, a lot more of these kinds of people that are just like watching to trip you up. And then that's actually good energy though, those people in high up in industry that I just watched on the sidelines, that's actually like really good energy. But I just, why would you just do nothing? Like strange. But maybe it's because they feel beneath, and that makes sense if they're viewing you as like some sort of religious leader or advisor to royalty or something from the past. And they probably can sense that you are so heavily protected because you've got protection from Saint Germain, Saint Raphael and Saint Gabriel as well. Oof. Birth. Yeah, you're getting ready to have a brand new start. You could be getting ready to have a family. But I don't know what, there's not, maybe with this influential person, King of Roses. Tell us more about this birth energy, please. The Oracle of Delphi and the Queen of Roses. Oracle of Delphi number 1. Gonna have to read on that. What? It's something to do with psychic gifts. You're going to birth things with psychic gifts. With the Queen of Roses as well, that's like the Queen of Cups. Very psychic energy. Or it might be that babies in spirit are guiding your path as well. That could be another interpretation. There might be babies in spirit that are guiding a union together. And also in the process helping you to awaken to your psychic gifts and get more into your like moving from your heart. And Crescent Moon, the Treasure. Yeah, you're really getting into really feeling your way, and that's guiding you to your most abundant timeline. You're really getting in tune with your emotions, and that's come out a lot in all the readings. with other decks. Yeah, emotions are the key to your success. The waterfall. Like, don't be afraid to share your emotions. I can't find them very easily. Oh yeah, I can. Can we get, I'm just going to get some of these little cards to see if we can get any timelines on can we get any timelines of when 9, so it could be 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months. I don't think it's 9 years. For when you can start to see movement in your kind of like work or financial situation, when you can really start to see, you know, your finances being balanced out, and the fruits of your labour starting to show for themselves. It could be 8 as well, so it could be August or September. 8 or 9 months. Yeah, 8 or 9 months time. So spring or autumn for any kind of legal issues to be resolved for the previous karmic situations, and then either August or September, or in 8 or 9 months time. It's the same really, because we're in December now. But that clarifies the other card, that it's more likely to be autumn though than it is spring. For projects to be realised, like the fruits of your labour to come to actual fruition. And there's another 8 on the top, so 8 to 9 months, definitely. Definitely. Anything else you want to say about this journey? Anything else you want to say about this journey? Anything else you want to say about the community? The sands of time. It's people, it's like your soul tribe. It's definitely like soulmates or people that you've known in past lives. Or even like what you're kind of doing for, you know, what you're creating. It's like you've done it before in other past lives. And you might be meeting other people like that, like you, that have got gifts that they're rediscovering in this life. And that might, the solar energy might actually be bringing that out in people. All this increased solar activity. Should we get some divine feminine energy now? Okay, so people don't know, there's like an abnormal amount of I can't say it. Volcanic activity globally, and that's the divine feminine rising. So just going to see which particular divine feminines want to come through as guidance. Lalita, the red goddess. So we were just talking about magma. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I'm going to see what the book says. '88 might be significant. Lolita represents the spontaneity that graces a heavy moment and reminds us that joy is a powerful spiritual practice. This came out yesterday from the fairies. Lalita Tripura Sundari is a Hindu deity known as the Red Goddess because of her connection to desire. So this is all about doing what your heart desires. As in true desire, like not like lust desire, not proper, not fleeting, like it's actually from the soul. She's often depicted sitting on a lotus with 16 petals, known as the fulfiller of all desires. She's holding a golden bow that represents the mind and 5 golden arrows that represent the 5 senses, and the ancient devotional text dedicated to her. The Lalita Sahasranamam is a list of her 1,000 names that fulfills all of the desires of a devotee simply through its recitation. So you could be really devoted to whatever you're creating, and you could be practicing it like a spiritual practice. One of Lolita's many names is She Who Plays, and whatever you're doing, it might feel like child's play, like even if you're working or whatever, it might not feel like work because you're just sort of playful about everything you do. The Sanskrit word Lila means divine play. Lalita loves when her devotees are able to move beyond dualities to the point where we are not separate from what we desire. Yeah, so that's basically like actually manifesting your reality, like your heart's desire just being your full experience, like it's all being one, which is how it should be. And God is moving these fuckers out of the way. Goodbye. She loves puja or ritual worship for this reason, because it moves us from out of our ideas and thoughts to the divine, thoughts of the divine, and into our hearts where we can experience the divine directly. What was I saying? With the Oracle of Delphi and the Queen of Roses. Lalita is known for spontaneity and for liberating her devotees with joy. She's the consciousness that comes when we get so caught up in taking ourselves seriously that we forget the profound simple pleasures like sunlight on our face or the taste of a ripe strawberry. She's the delicious moment when we remember that we don't have to take everything, especially ourselves, so seriously. We don't have to be perfect or know the right mudras or yoga poses or chant for hours on end. What's divine is inherent in us. It's remembered, not learned. When your soul selects her card, answers arrive from disengaging with the energy that created the problem or question to begin with. We so often hold tight to what we desire with a grip that actually inhibits it from arriving, and we often take the soul by the collar and demand to know an answer right now. But when a desire is an imperative, there's an inability to be playful, imaginative, and childlike with how and when that desire will arrive. The secret to desire is holding it lightly. The secret that the Red Goddess knows is that we already have everything we desire, so we can trust that when what the soul craves is and always has been ours. This is the levity that sparks a shift, a change, and expansion. This is the moment that we remember we are not separate from what we desire or from the divine. Lalita is the brilliant moment in a fight between lovers or friends when suddenly someone mispronounces a word and both crack up laughing. She's the levity that comes when we loosen our death-like grip on what we think we desire. She's the gorgeous, much-needed reminder that we don't have to suffer our way to what we want most. The path to what we desire and to becoming the soul we need to be in order to receive it can be paved with joy, with divine play, and with a sacred process of lightening up all along the way. You can, like, I don't really believe in like telling people to do affirmations or intentions and stuff. I think you should just always follow your own heart and do your own. But the message in the book, intention wise, is playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. So if that resonates with you, take it on board. Don't take on things and be a vampire that don't resonate. But it has to be from the heart anyway. None of that works if it's from the head. I'm just saying, like, you have to work on opening your heart by releasing all your trauma, releasing all your karma, you know, changing all the patterns that do not serve you, and all of that stuff that you have to do. That's the real work to be able to get in a playful spirit despite your circumstances. Like, you could, you know, like my people in Gaza are very inspirational because they still hold a lightness of being even despite everything being taken away, and that's very evolved soul ascension. Like they've got to that place from a lot of work. So yeah, like I think people appreciate actually how masterful the spirit of play is. Let's see, do we want to get another message? It's also, if you are going through like legal stuff, being playful helps you cope with that kind of situation. I don't know if I wanted to go back in. Marguerite Perret, the mystic of divine love. Love is divine and I am nothing except love. So it's just to remember that you are love. I can't remember if I showed you Lolita as well. What's Lolita? So just remember who you are, which is love. Let's see. 17. Marguerite Perret is the essence of divine love and the truth that all we are is love. Marguerite was a French Beguine born in the mid-13th century. The Beguine movement, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, was a spiritual revival among women in the late Middle Ages that emphasized an imitation of Christ's life. So you could resonate with being somebody that likes to follow in Jesus' footsteps and be on an ascension journey, which we all should be doing that. You might not know that you're following in Jesus' footsteps by doing that, but Jesus is an ascended master, and that's what he did in his life, and that's why he was targeted. The Beguines, or holy women, lived together in semi-monastic communities. There was a card, this one, the Ark of the Covenant. So that speaks to that. It's quite modern in that one. They were not nuns, they didn't take formal vows and could leave at any point, but they lived with shared spiritual intention. So that might kind of be akin to like feminines like Mary Magdalene or Sophia, who kind of lived in that kind of vein, but were ostracized from the church. Marguerite wrote a spiritual masterpiece titled The Mirror of simple souls. It reveals the spiritual process she went through to be transformed by divine love. I am God, says love, for love is God and God is love, and this soul is God by the condition of love. By 1306, the Bishop of Cambrai deemed her work heretical and condemned it to be burned in Porreet's presence. Even so, it continued to circulate widely through the Middle Ages, and in some ecclesiastical centres, it was embraced as an almost canonical piece of theology. Porreet was ordered to stop circulating her book and to recant her ideas of God as love, but she refused. So if anybody wants to go on my Instagram page, on my bio it says God is love. And who's being targeted like this? So I'm part of the collective as well, and this might resonate with you, but I'm just thinking like, what the flip? What is wrong with people? It's like their spirits know, like the spirits are from, they know to be like karmic and attack you. It's like they can sniff you out. They can sniff you out. It's freaking weird. Marguerite was arrested as a relapsed heretic and a free spirit, which included the belief that humans could achieve union with the divine. It's true. It's true. And society is still demonizing people who have these beliefs, like me. The Catholic Church conducted an unprecedented trial to decide her fate. Like Joan of Arc, much of her life is recorded because of the transcripts of her lengthy trial. She maintained her truth and that the soul has no other's will but God's, and that when the soul is united with God's love, this state of union causes the soul to transcend the contradictions of the world. And look, God's stepping in with all this auroral activity, all this magmatic activity, all of this solar activity. There's now a massive hole in the sun that's being like covered over like a scar. It's actually crazy to show that we have wounds heal into scars, but we're still love, we still burn bright like the sun, we're still ever present. And I don't know if people know, but indigenous, like Inuit communities in the kind of regions of the world that like are exposed to the aurora like all the time, they believe that the aurora is actually spirits coming to warn the earth of dangers. So this might be a divine warning from like spirits, ascended spirits, that there's going to be massive earthquake eruptions, there's all the signs are there, and that is God coming to bring love back to the planet because it has gone AWOL, and people who have just the essence of love, who live by love and exude love, like literally move in divine exuberance, are being targeted because we are offensive to people who light so bright like that, just literally bring up the worst kind of demons. And when you are a bright light like Jesus, he attracted all kinds of crap. Confirmation, he attracted the good, the bad, everything, all of it. Like my people attract very, very, very dark, bad spirits that don't want to leave. Like anyone who's been watching my channel, you know I've been writing as much possible for those absolute not rights who are trying to create this fake trust. These kinds of fuckers here, full of ego, really disgusting energy, trying to alter trajectories. God is not having that anymore. God's not having that anymore. And there's particular individuals that have accumulated a lot of wealth by doing that in other places, and they're not going to get away with doing it in Gaza. No way. Last stop before jail. But they're not going to finish what they started. It's just ridiculous. No, because there's people like me alive all around the world that are not, like, we are the owners. We've not signed anything. We can go to trial to stop our inheritance being stolen, and for damages. So where was I? I don't mind repeating this again for anyone who missed it the first time. She maintained her truth, that the soul has no other will but God's. Yeah, we don't serve these masters. We don't serve these masters. We only serve one. And when the soul is united with God's love, this state of union causes the soul to transcend the contradictions of this world. She suggested that we can be transformed by divine love into love itself, which isn't separate from God, and that ultimately no outside source is needed in this transformation. It's between the soul and God alone. So anybody who's like me, who resonates with being in isolation and really forced into developing a close relationship with God, it could be even through your creative practice. That's what happened to me as well. But especially in the last 2 years, when my money's been blocked and everything, and I've had no other choice except to do that. You might resonate with that as well. Marguerite was burned at the stake in 1310. So, witch hunt. The Mirror of Simple Souls continued to gain a popularity, but was distributed as an anonymous text until 1946, when Romana Guarneri identified Latin manuscripts of the mirror in the Vatican. Marguerite's name returned to the text when it was published for the first time in 1965. When your soul selects her card, there's nothing more powerful than remembering that we are love. Don't let anybody tell you any other way, that you are any other way. And there's nothing and no one outside of us that is needed in order to realise this. It's between our experience of the divine and our own soul. We can let go of what we think when we need to prove, or who we think we need to be in order to receive love, because we remember that we are love. Then we can stand in that truth even through flames. Marguerite is a courageous truth teller, and the truth of her experience is that love alone can free us, not the love another might give us, not the love of family or of friends. All of this is powerful and significant, but the true source of love for us is in the fact that we are a soul, and that the soul is in union with the divine. This is very true. This is very true, and this come up in other readings when I was talking about the collective fire that might be with more and more people awakening to their own fire, their own holy fire, which is God's fire, which might be causing this solar flare, or it might be the opposite. It might be the solar flare. It could be both together in tandem. Who knows? She reminds us that when we've forgotten that love is the essence of who we are, and that true love is found within. Marguerite says, love has no beginning, no end, and no limit, and I am nothing except love. Yeah, so basically people in this world want us to believe that we are finite, which is of the mind. They don't want you to believe that we're infinite souls, that we're actually part of the universe, we're plugged into the universe. They want us to believe that we're just finite mind, material realm, so we can all pretend like AI is the future. Looking funny. I am nothing except love. This is the time to own and to know this truth more fully. It's the most profound and radical act we can ever take, knowing the love we already are. So for anyone that cares about the intention, love is divine and I am nothing except love. Do we want another one? No, I don't think so. Might get a chakra card though. Because this reading's like 50 minutes already. Is there any kind of advice for, you know, staying balanced and staying in a loving energy that might help the collective at this time? Two, inner child and intuition. There, that's just confirmation. It's confirmation of what's already come out. Play. Trust, insight, awareness, guidance, playfulness, lightheartedness, innocence and wonder. Yeah, it's just confirmation. So it's definitely the end of the reading. Thank you if you stuck around all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this is really good, really, really good. Whoever this is for, let me know in the comments if it resonates. And yeah, if any of you would like to support my work, you can send one-off donation via PayPal, or you can support my specific projects that I've been working on whilst in isolation the last since the end of 2022, early 2023. You can do so via the links to the GoFundMe's in the About section. I also have a Patreon that if people want to support me, you can do from as little as about £5 for, it's like buying me a, it's called, the tea is called matcha latte. It's like buying me a coffee. But I'm very wussy with caffeine, so I drink matcha more than coffee. Yeah, so if you want to support me with a little bit, but more frequently, you can do so via Patreon. Thank you to everyone who's donated to any of my projects so far. I really, really do appreciate it. And I just don't know why I'm just being called to do more readings at this time, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go with it because it's still a way for me to express myself artistically, I suppose. Yeah, I hope they're helpful confirmation and that they are providing much needed guidance for people out there. So I'll see you in the comment section or in the next reading, whenever that may be. Sending lots of love, joy and good wishes, and hope you're all enjoying the festivities. I personally haven't really done anything to celebrate. I've been debating whether to decorate the library, but this year it's got loads of tools and stuff on it for DIY, so it just might be one of those years that the tools are allowed to take over. We'll see. Yeah, that's it really. I'll see you next time.